Welcome to Sky Grade Tutorial. I am Jonah Bicroft. In this tutorial, you will learn types of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions, ordering of fractions, and multiplication and division of fractions. We shall take a look at both mass, and we will also solve some complex questions. Our mathematics gurus, get ready with your writing materials. Let's proceed. Now, what is a fraction? A fraction is simply part of a whole. So that by the time we divide 1 into 2, we have fraction 1 over 2 and another 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is a part of the number 1. Okay? By the time we divide that single 1 into 3 places, we arrive at 1 over 3, 1 over 3 into 3 places. And this 1 over 3, 1 over 3, we arrive at are fractions. They are part of what? The whole number that we just divide. Having known that, let us take a look at the types of fractions. There are about 9 types of fractions. We have the proper fraction. We have the improper fraction. There is mixed fraction, equivalent fraction, like fractions, unlike fractions, complex fraction, rational fraction, and irrational fractions. Now, let us take pains to start to explain how this type of fraction differs from one another. The first one is proper fraction. A proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is smaller than the denominator. As you can see, the first one there is this first group of fraction are proper fraction. Their numerator are smaller than the denominator. And these are examples of what proper fraction. So that 3 over 4, 2 over 3, and 1 over 2 are proper fraction because their numerator are smaller than their denominator. Now, what are improper fraction? Improper fraction, which is number 2 here, is a direct opposite of proper fraction. That is to say, they are fractions whose numerator are greater than the denominators. So that 4 over 3, 3 over 2, and 5 over 4 are what? Improper fractions. Mixed fractions. Mixed fractions are fractions that contain whole numbers. So that 2 whole number 1 over 3 is a mixed fraction. 3 whole number 1 over 4 is also a mixed fraction. And 1 of number 1 over 2 is a mixed fraction. Mixed fractions are fractions that contain whole numbers. Equivalent fraction. Equivalent fraction are fractions that are facially not the same. That when you look at it, we look at them, they are not the same, but they are the same in value. For example, 1 over 2 is not the same facially, or it's not the same fraction with 2 over 4. But when 2 over 4 is reduced to its lowest term, it becomes 1 over 2. Likewise, 3 over 6 is not the same with 1 over 2. But when 3 over 6 is reduced, it becomes 1 over 2. So fractions that are not the same but are the same in value are known as what? Equivalent fractions. Next on the line is like fractions. Like fractions are fractions with a common denominator. They are fractions with a common denominator. For example, 1 over 4 is a like fraction to 2 over 4. And 2 over 4 is a like fraction to what? 3 over 4. Because they are fractions with the same, or with the same, with common what? Denomination. Denominator. Yes. Now we talk about unlike fraction, which is also the direct opposite of like fraction. They are fractions which numerator are not the same. Which denominator are not the same. For example, 1 over 4 and 1 over 6 are unlike fraction. Also 1 over 6 and 1 over 8 are unlike fraction. Their denominator are not what? The same. So they are called what? Unlike what? Fraction. And the next online is number 7, which is what? Complex fraction. Complex fraction are fraction in a fraction. Let me put it like that. That is fraction that contain another fraction. Or simply put it to be a fraction upon a fraction. For example, 1 over 2 is a fraction, and there's another fraction underneath, 3 over 4. So 1 over 2 is another fraction upon another fraction, which is 3 over 4, as can be seen here. 1 over 2 over 3 over 4 is a complex fraction because it is a fraction within a fraction. Another example of a complex fraction is 2 over 3 over 5 over 6. 2 over 3 over 5 over 6. That is also what? A complex fraction. They are fractions that contain another word, fractions. Now, the next one is rational fractions. All the one enumerated above are all rational fractions. They are rational fractions because their numerator and their denominator are numbers. Whether their numerator is a number, their denominator are all numbers. So all of them are what? Rational fraction. Then the rational fraction is a fraction that contains surds. For example, when you have a fraction like 1 over the square root of 3, that is an irrational fraction. Another example of an irrational fraction is the square root of 5 over 2. Those are fractions that have property of surd. They are all irrational fractions. Now we proceed. We are going to take a look on how addition and subtraction of fraction are done. It's a simple logic. To add a fraction or to subtract a fraction, first of all, find the common denominator. The common denominator is the LCM. So to add or to subtract a fraction, first of all, you find the LCM of the denominators. After getting the LCM of the denominators, you use each of these denominators to divide the LCM, then multiply with the numerator. You plus or minus as it is in your question. Now, let us take example. He said, add 1/4 and 1/6. Example 2, it says subtract 2/3 from 3/4. Now, 1. What we first will do, the first step here, which is 1 here, is to find the LCM of 4 and 6. And the LCM of 4 and 6 is 12. We'll now write down the 12 and start to divide the denominator, divide the LCM by the denominator. Then multiply our result with the numerator. For example, 4 divided 12 here is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. We put plus and divide with 6, which is the denominator of the other fraction. 6 divided 12 is 2. And 2 times 1 is 2. Then it becomes 3 plus 2 over 12, which invariably results in 5/12. So 5/12 is the solution to the addition of 1/4 and 1/6. Is that clear? Is that clear? Any question? Then question 2 says subtract 2/3 from what? From 3/4. The same thing. What we do is to find the LCM of 4 and 3. And the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. The LCM of 4 and 3 is what? 12. Then write down 12 and divide with what? The denominator. Each of the denominator, 4 divided 12 is 3. 3 times the numerator, 3 times 3 is 9. We put minus because we are minusing. Then the other fraction, which is 2/3, we divide the denominator by, we divide 12 by the denominator, which is 3. 3 divided 12 is what? 2. No, 3 divided 12 is 8. 8 times 2, which is the numerator, is, sorry for that mix up. 3 divided 12 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So that we have 9 minus 8 over 12, which is the same thing as 1/12. Please, 1/12, there is 1/12. 12 is missing there. So the solution is 1/12. Assist me to correct it as 1/12, not 1/1. Is that clear? And that is how it is done. Are there any question? Copy it fast so that we proceed. It is very simple. You may not need to copy this. We begin with the simplest one so that by the time we go to the challenging one, after understanding the simple one, then it will not be a problem. It is important that we first of all understand this simple one before we proceed to the challenging one. We proceed. Now, what we're going to do here is to learn how to order fraction, ordering of fraction. How will you know that this fraction is greater than this, or this fraction is smaller than this? It is a very simple logic, and we are going to demonstrate it with one example only. Now, example, say arrange the following fraction in ascending order of magnitude. You can also be asked to arrange the fraction in descending order of magnitude. Ascending order means from small to big. The small one, then the next small one, and you go to the biggest one or to the bigger one. Then descending order is from the big to the small one. So this question requires us to arrange the fraction in ascending order. The simplest way of resolving this question is to change all the fraction to the decimal fraction. Yes. If you are using calculator, change all of them to decimal fraction. That is one of the simplest way. Another way again, with another method, is by finding the common denominator of all the fraction and work with it. When you work with it, you divide and multiply, then the bigger number will be the biggest fraction, then the smaller number will be the smaller fraction. As you equate it, or as you take it over what the LCM. But this method I'm going to use seems to be the simplest. Convert these fractions into their decimal form. And when we want to convert this fraction into their decimal form, you see 2/3 becomes 0.67. 3/5 becomes 0.6. 5/12 becomes 0.42. 4/15 becomes 0.27. While 3/10 becomes 0.3. Which one is bigger? Which one is smaller? Simple. 0.67 the biggest fraction, 0.6 the next, 0.42 the next, 0.3 the next, and the smallest fraction there is 0.27. And so we take them from that angle because we're arranging them from small to big. So the smallest one there is 4/15, which is 0.27. The next is what? 0.3, which is 3/10. And the next is 0.42, which is 5/12. And the next is 3.6, which is what? 3/5. And the last, or the biggest fraction there, is 2/3, which is what? 0.67. So the arrangement now from ascending order is 4/5, 3/10, 5/12, 3/5, and 2/3. Is that okay? Is it clear? Did you need more explanation? Should I go ahead? Do you want to copy? You can do so. Now let's proceed. Now we are going to take a look at operation of what? Fraction. Complex operation and what? Fractions. Okay. Here we have multiplication and division of what? Fractions. How do we divide fraction? How do we multiply fraction? It is a very simple thing to do. To multiply a fraction, to multiply through fraction, multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator and reduce if possible. And to divide a fraction or to divide two fractions, you invert the other fraction. Inverting a fraction means taking the reciprocal of that fraction. So there are two things we know here. To multiply fraction, multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator and reduce them if possible. And to divide a fraction, invert the second fraction and multiply. So that multiplication and division of fraction are almost the same. The only thing there is that when you want to divide two fractions, you invert the other fraction and multiply. Is that clear? Now, we're going to take example. Example 1, 2 over 3 times 2 over 4. The first step is to multiply the numerator, which is 2 times 2, over the multiplication of the denominator, which is what? 3 times 4. Eventually, in step 2, you have 4 over 12. When reduced, become 1 over 3. And that is the answer. Example 2, in division, you say, divide 3 over 4 by 2 over 3. Very simple. To divide two fractions, invert the second fraction and multiply. That is what we do here. Now, what we do is to invert, the first step is to invert the second fraction. It automatically becomes 3 over 4 times 3 over 2. And to multiply fraction, we multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. Eventually, we arrive in step 2, which is 3 times 3, which is the numerator, over 2 times 2, which is what? The denominator. Invariably, it becomes 9 over 8. And that is the answer. Is it not simple? Yes. We decided to start with simple one so that you understand the principle. So that by the time we go to the complex one, we will not have any challenge. Yes, you can copy it. You can copy it. Just do that within only 5 seconds. Do that within only 5 seconds, so we proceed. Now, let's move forward. Yes, we are going to take a look at what is known as BODMAS, the acronym BODMAS. There's no way we can do fraction without taking a rehearsal at BODMAS. BODMAS, simply put, is the order of operation mathematics, especially where you have different operators. Different mathematical operators. Mathematical operators are mathematical sign like plus, minus, multiplication sign, and division sign. Where you have multiple operators, where will you begin? Will you begin from addition or subtraction, or multiplication or division? That is what BODMAS come to resolve. Mathematics is a it's a discipline of logic. You don't do things anyhow. If you do it anyhow, you get it wrong. So there is a sequence, there's a logic to which problems are solved when it involves multiple mathematical operations. So BODMAS means order of operation in mathematics. It is worthy of note that division and multiplication must be done before addition and subtraction in any of your operations. Multiplication and division are done before addition and subtractions. That must be taken note of. Now, let us break down that BODMAS In that BODMAS, that acronym BODMAS, B stands for brackets, O stands for order, D stands for division, M multiplication, A addition, and S subtraction. What did they mean? Bracket come first, B come first. You see, in any mathematical operation that involve multiple operators, first of all, resolve that is inside the brackets. Resolve that one that is inside the bracket. Now, the next thing you will do is to go to the order. What is the component of the order? Order are things like indices or exponents or powers or roots and square roots. What is trying to tell us here is that after solving the one in the bracket, look for any indices or otherwise called exponents or power. Let's say raised to power so, raised to power so. If there is any one, solve it next. If there is root, solve it first. If there is square root, that is what order means. So in the operation, after solving the one in the bracket, the next thing you will look at for is roots, indices, exponent, square root, and the rest. If it is not there, then you move. Then after solving the order, then the next thing you will go to is division or multiplication, as the case may be, depending on the one that comes first. Division, multiplication and division must be done before addition and subtraction. And multiplication and division are done from left to right. From left to right, the one that comes first, you do it first. That is the priority. If it is mathematics multiplication that come from the right, from the left, before division, you do it first. Priority are given from the left to the right. Now, addition. Addition and subtraction are done last, and they are also done or performed from left to right. So the summary of this BODMAS is that 1. Do the one that is in the bracket first, resolve the bracket first. Then look at if there is order, the component of order, indices, roots, square root, powers, whatever, resolve it next. Then do a multiplication and addition according to how they come first, beginning from left to right. It's after you resolve their division and multiplication before you can go into addition and subtraction. Is that clear? Did you need further explanation on this? If you did not need any further explanation, then let's proceed. Now we are going to use example to assess how we understand this, what we have just learned in BODMAS. Example 1 is evaluate 3 times 2 plus 12 divided by 4 minus 5. Okay, you correct it for me properly. 3 times 2 plus 12, that 12 is 12 over 4 minus 5. Yes. Yeah. What do we do first? There is no brackets in this question. Good. But there is multiplication in this question and there is division in this question. So division and multiplication are done from left to right. So the first thing we do is step 1, 2 times 3, multiplication, then we put plus. Then before we add, we must go and first of all do the division, which is 12 divided by 4. 12 divided 4. 12 over 4. We have that is 3. So we have 2 times 3 multiplication We have resolved division that resulted in 3. Then minus 5. You cannot find in step 2 is 6 plus 3 minus 5. 6 plus 3 minus 5 is equals to what? 4. And 4 is the solution to that question. Example 2. Evaluate 18 minus 3 plus 2 times open bracket 7 minus 3 or bracket open 7 minus 3. Simple. Only thing that is here, there is multiplication, there is brackets, there is no division, there is no order. What we need to do here, according to the BODMAS rule, is to resolve the one in the bracket first. So the one we'll do first is 7 minus 3, and we get the answer. So it becomes 18 minus 3 plus 2 into or times 4. So I haven't done the one that in bracket. The next thing is to do the multiplication, which is 18 minus 2 and 18 minus 3 plus 2 times 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. Invariably, we have 18 minus 3 plus 8, which is equals to what? 23. Now, to enable us verify whether we understand what you have just done in BODMAS, you will please go home, copy this, and solve it. And whatever answer you get, you can let us know. And in our next tutorial, we are going to start with solving these questions, so that if you did not get it correctly, then correction will be there for you then. So after copying it, I give you time to copy it, so that after copying it we proceed. After copying it we proceed. Just 3 seconds to copy the whole drills. Do not forget, mathematics is practical. To know mathematics, you have to do mathematics. Have you finished copying? Can we proceed? Can we proceed? All right, let's go. Now we are going to do some operations with fractions. Yes, we're going to do some operations with fractions. And we're going to begin with this first question that says, simplify, open brackets, 3/4 minus 1/3, bracket close, times 4 whole number 1/3 divided by 3 whole number 1/4. Please assist me to put division sign here. Division sign here. All of that 4 whole number 1/3. The next sign there is division sign. Division sign, that is 4 whole number 1/3 divide 3 whole number 1/4. Please. Now the solution. We begin with BODMAS. What did the BODMAS rule says? The BODMAS rule says we should solve the one in bracket first. And the one in bracket is 3/4 minus 1/2. Just subtraction of fraction, which we have known how to do it. We only take the common denominator, that is the LCM of 4 and 3, which is 12. And just as we have done before, we bring out the LCM. The LCM is 12. 4 divided 12 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Then 1/3, in 1/3, 3 divided 12 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Then we have 9 minus 4 over 12. That is the one in bracket. So the solution to the one in bracket now is 5 over 12. And what we are going to do next is to multiply. Yes, after the bracket, you multiply. And you take this multiplication from left to right. And multiplication is the next one to the left, from the left. From left to right. And before we multiply, what we need to do is to change 4 number 1 over 3 into improper fraction. And it will become 13 number. Become 13 over 3, which is what we got here. Become 13 over 3, which is what we got here. And we also change the other one, 1 over 4 into improper fraction, and also become 13 over 4. That is what we got here. That's what we got in this place. That is what in step 1. After resolving this, first of all, what we first of all did here is to change those one into improper fraction. Then we solve this. We solve the bracket first. Then take it and do the multiplication and word division. And to multiply fraction, you times the numerator and the denominator. And because you are dividing the last fraction, you invert it, take the reciprocal of that fraction, it automatically becomes 4 over 13. Automatically become 4 over 13 instead of 13 over 14. Instead of 13 over 4, it automatically become 13 over 4? Because we need to divide it, and to divide fraction, we take the reciprocal and what? Multiply. So that this one, the question now become 5 over 12 times 13 over 3 times 4 over 13. You look at them very well, you see, 13 can divide 13. 13 divided 13 here is 1. 13 divided 13 here is 1. So we are done with what 13. The two 13 cancel. Then here 4 can divide 4 and 4 can divide 12. 4 divided 4 here is 1 and 4 divided 12 is 3. Yes. So what is left now is 5 times what? 2. Which is what? 10. No, is it 5 times? No, it becomes 5 times 1. Because this 4 divided 4 becomes 1 and 4 divided 12 becomes 5 times 1. That is what we got here, 5 times 1 over 3 times 3. The 3 times 3 now is this 3. From 12, 4 divided 12 is 3, which is this 3. And this 3. 3 times 3 become 3 times 1 over 3 times 3. And the result is 5 over 9. Do you have any question? Did you want to copy it? Please copy it. There is need for documenting what you are learning. So that during exam time, you will just rehearse, go through them, having known the principle, having known the routine, you just go through them. So just 4 seconds to get that done. 4 seconds to get it done. If you have any question, you can reach us. If you did not understand, you can reach us. You can reach us in our WhatsApp number that we are going to display at the end of this tutorial. If you have any question, you need further explanation, there's any other aspect of mathematics that is not clear to you that we have done in all our tutorial, you are free to ask questions. You can call us directly. We are for you. We will answer you, we will reply you, and we will explain everything to you bit by bit. We proceed. Now, there's another question. This time, this question is picked from PACS examination, Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination 2023, question 6. It says, simplify 1 minus, open bracket close, 7/3 times 5/4 plus 3/5. Please, those of you copying should copy it as I'm saying it, because there are some typographical error. So it is 1 minus, open bracket, 7/3 times 5/4 bracket close plus 3/5. Now the board mass rule says bracket first, so we are going to do the bracket first. And the bracket first is just 2 fractions multiplying themselves, which we have learned before that to multiply 2 fractions, multiply their numerator and multiply their denominator and reduce. So this one now becomes, as you can see in the first step, 1 minus 35/12. 35/12 is 35 is 7 times 5 with the numerator, and 12 is 3 times 5 with the denominator, plus what? 3/5. What we need to do next is now just addition and subtraction of fraction. We're going to take or find the common denominator, which is the LCM of 1, 12, and 5. The LCM of 1, 12, and 5 is 16. And we carry out the same operation as we carry out the previous one. 1 divided 60 is 60 times 1, which is the one, that one is the numerator. Then 60 divided by 12 is what? 5 times 35. 35 is the numerator. Then plus 5 divided by 60 is 12 times 3. 3 is what? The numerator. And automatically we have 60 minus 175 plus 36 over what? 30 over 60. That means by the time we do this, the operation here, 60 minus 175 plus 35, plus 36, we have minus 79 over what? 60, and that is the solution. Any problem? Do you have any question? Okay, let me ask you a question. How did we get 35/12? Yeah, you are right. That's correct. 35/12 is got by multiplying the numerator and the denominator of 2 fractions multiplying each other, which is 7/5 and 5/4. 7 times 5 is 35. 3 times 4 is 12. Now I know you understand it. We proceed. The next question is also taken from Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, year 2019, question 8. Now, look at the question very well. This is a complex fraction. It's a fraction upon a fraction. You see, 2/3 divided by 4/5. Please put the division sign there. 2/3 divide 4/5. Then over 1/4 plus 3/5 minus 1 over 3. That is what the question says. I take it again. The question is a complex fraction. It's a fraction upon a fraction. And it says evaluate 2 over 3 divide 4 over 5. Let me put that divide sign there. 2 over 3 divide 4 over 5 over 1 over 4 plus 3 over 5 minus 1 over 3. And you have, options. The options A is 31 over 50. Option B, 20 over 31. Option C, 31 over 20. And option D, 50 over 31. What do we do? Let us do the denominator first. That is the first fraction. That's say 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 5. To divide a fraction, you invert the second fraction and multiply the numerator and the denominator. And by the time we invert 4 over 5, it becomes 2 over 3 times 5 over 4. Simple. And we have 10 over what? 12. 10 over 12 is 3 times 5. 2 times 5, which is 10, and 3 times 4, which is what? 12. So this one is the numerator, the first fraction up. Then the second fraction, what are we doing there? We are just doing addition and subtraction of the second fraction. And the second fraction is 1 over 4 plus 3 over 5 minus 1 over 2. What we need to do here is to find the common denominator of 4, 5, and 3. The LCM of 4, 5, and 3, which is what? 60. And we resolve it as we resolve to that simpler one. Writing 60, 4 divided by 60, and 60 divided 4 is what? 15. 15 times 1 is 15. Then 5 divided 60 is what? 12. 12 times 3 is 36. 3 into 60 is 20. And 20 times minus 1, which is the numerator, is what? Minus 20. Automatically we have 31 over 60. That is now what? The denominator. So we are going to use the numerator first and put the denominator down. It means that the denominator is dividing the denominator. It's supposed to look like this. 10 over 12 over 31 over 60, which is the same thing as 10 over 5 divided by 31 over 60. And to divide fraction, you invert the second fraction. And when we invert the second fraction, it becomes what? 10 over 12 times 60 over 31. Invariably, 12 divided 12 is 1. 12 divided 60 is 5. We are now left with what? 5 times 10, which is 5 times 10 over 31. So our answer now becomes 50 over 31. And the right option on the screen there is D. That is 50 over 31. Did you understand it? Is there any question? Please just copy it copy it now. Copy it now. Just 6 seconds to copy it. Copy it so that we proceed. They are not hard questions. They are very simple questions. Only thing you need to know is the principle, the routine. You know the routine, you know the principle, it is done, the rules, you just go ahead. In fact, there should be none of this math that one cannot solve if you apply the correct routine. Now we go ahead. Now this is Waec question 9, 2001. the same thing, the same fraction operation. And what are we doing here? The question says evaluate 5 whole number 2 over 5 times bracket open and close 2 over 3 raised to power 2. Divide that slash here mean divide. Just put divide there for me as you are copying it with your biro. All after 2 over 3 raised to power 2, put divide into bracket open and close 1 on number 1 over 2 raised to power minus 1. And did you get it? Let me repeat the question. You have 5 on number 2 over 5 times bracket open and close 2 over 3 raised to power 2. That one is 2 over 3 raised to power 2. Then that slash now means divide bracket open 1 on number 1 over 2 raised to power minus 1. Now what we need to do, applying BODMAS rule, do the one in the bracket first. There are 2 in the bracket there. Do it first. That one is as good, that 2 over 3 raised to power 2 is as good as 4 over 9, which is 2 times 2 over 3 times 3. That one is gone. Then the other one, you change it into proper fraction, which is 3 over 2. 3 over 2 raised to power minus 1. 3 over 2 raised to power minus 1 become 2 over what? 3. It becomes 2 over 3. Any number raised to power, the negative number is the reciprocal of that number. So 1 over 2 raised to power of negative 1 is the reciprocal of that number. It becomes 2 over 3. 2 over 3. On that note, we proceed. So this first one, we change it to a proper fraction. That is 2 over 5. Change it to a proper fraction, become 27 over 5 times 4 over 9 times 3 over what? 2. Yes. It becomes 2 over 2, 3 here, and everything becomes multiplication because the other part, the last one is inverted so that we will go to multiply. So when we invert it, when it was 2 over 3, when we invert it now, it becomes 3 over 2. And that is just what we need to do. We discover in this place that 9 can divide 9 and can also divide 27. So 9 divided 9 is 1. We have done with 9. And 9 divided 27 is 3. And also, yes, 2 can divide 2 here to give us 1, and 2 divide 4 to give us what? 2. So what we have here now is 3 times 2 times 3. That is, the numerator is left with 3 times 2 times 3, which is then over what? 5. So that is why we are having 3 times 2 times 3 over 5. That gives us 18 over 5. When you divide it, you now have 3 on number 3 over 5. And that is the solution to that question. That is solution to that question. Do you have any question? Is there anything that is not clear there? Okay, let me ask you a question. Why did we have in this section of it 3 over 2, that is 27 over 5 times 4 over 9 times 3 over 2, instead of it being 2 over 3? Yes, you are right. By the time we take the reciprocal of that number, it is 2 over 3. Yes. Because any number raised to negative power is the reciprocal or the inverse of that number. So by the time it was, when we take the reciprocal, it was 2 over 3. And because we are dividing here, and to divide a fraction is to take the inverse or reciprocal of the second fraction. That is why this 2/3 now become 3/2. You are correct. So 2 seconds to pen it down. 2 seconds to pen it down. Okay, let's proceed. Yes, I think this is where we are going to call it off. Yes, we are going to end our tutorial here. Now, I just want to use this last tutorial to bring back what we have just learned before in complex fractions. And in the beginning of the tutorial, we define a complex fraction as a fraction upon a fraction that contains a fraction. That is a complex fraction. This idea of complex fraction will enable us to solve what we are going to meet in our next tutorial, which is known as the ladder fraction or ladder division. So that is why we are now rehearsing this complex fraction. Look at this question. This question is solve 3/2 over 4/2. It's a fraction upon a fraction. Another way of setting this question is 3/2 divided by 4/2. Now, this is the simplest fraction that can ever be resolved. What we do here is we use one formula we call Fafa-Nene. That is Fafa, that is 3 times 2, and the near 2 times 4. Which is the same thing as saying top times bottom, over middle times middle. Fafa 3 times 2 over near 2 times 4. Automatically, without doing any calculation, you just arrive at 3 times 2 over 2 times 3, which is equals to what? 6/8. Yes. If you cannot resolve it like that with this formula I call Fafa-Nene, then you will just say 3/2 divided by 4/3. And to divide two fractions, you invert the second fraction and multiply. Automatically, you will still arrive as 3 times 2 over 2 times 4, which is equals to what? 6/8. Now, let us look at this one. This example, you say 3/4/3. Yes, it is the same method. Immediately something is 3/4 over that another thing, it becomes that this 3 is 1/3. This last 3, the last 3 in the bottom, become 1/3. So you now frame it like this: 3/4 over 1/3. 3/4 over 1/3. That is to say, 3 times 1, which is Fafa, over near 4 times 3. No, is there any mistake? No, that's a mistake. That's a mix-up. Now that is 3 times 3, that is Fafa. Then near 4 times 1. That means 3 times 3, the Fafa. Top bottom, over the 2 middle, 4 times 1. And eventually you get 9/4. and that is it.